What's up, everybody? Jonny Wyld here, and today I wanted to talk about how we heal when we don't realize that we're trying to heal. So, what we do if we're not actively, intentionally trying to heal, the way that our subconscious gets us to heal is by recreating the situations that created our negative, wounded emotional experiences in the first place. So, for instance, if you got treated really poorly by your mother and she treated you as though you were never enough, then upon growing up and starting to get into relationships with women, you're going to resonate on that emotional frequency, and your subconscious is going to be motivated to recreate that scenario with a woman that you get into a relationship with. And because your subconscious basically wants you to rewrite history and go back to the battle that you previously lost, but this time win. And that's how the subconscious grows in an emotional sense, an energetic sense, a spiritual sense, is we're all on a certain level on our path to enlightenment. And if we grew up with abuse, then if we're not actively healing that abuse through going to a therapist or learning specifically how to meditate to heal those issues internally, then we will recreate those scenarios externally, and hopefully our subconscious hopes that we will get redemption this time when we recreate those traumatic scenarios again. So if you ever wonder why you're attracting into your life these relationships or situations or jobs or patterns of behavior that are causing you a lot of distress, it's very often because your subconscious is trying to get you to replay those disempowering experiences that you had in the past, and this time it wants you to win. But the thing is, if you're not conscious about those situations and why they're recreating themselves, and you're not conscious that it's because it's an attempt at healing, then what will happen is you'll recreate those scenarios, but then you won't actually get any redemption. You'll just relive the scenario. You'll fail at winning again. It's like you're playing the same video game level and you can't get past that level until you beat it, right? And so you just like keep starting the level and getting to the end and dying, starting the level, getting to the end and dying. So, but if you realize that you're playing the video game, then you can say, oh man, I've been in this situation before and I'm tired of being in this situation. What can I do differently this time to make sure that I beat this level and finally get my redemption so I can move on with this chapter of my life? Another part of what keeps people from being able to beat the level that they're at as far as like their emotional suffering patterns is the fact that people will talk about the negative aspects of that particular negative emotional pattern. Like, say they're addicted to fucking drugs. They're addicted to heroin, or here's a better one. They're addicted to a negative emotion. It's like there's like shame, for instance. You know, they'll talk about how bad it feels to feel ashamed, but what stops them from moving past the shame is admitting what they're getting out of the shame. Because every negative emotion has a pleasure tone and a pleasure quality to it. There's a positive side to every negative emotion because every negative emotion is a defense response. And so every defense response has a certain pleasure because the biological organism, it would make sense that it would associate a pleasure with something that's going to defend it. So people will decry the negative aspect of their negative emotion, like shame, that they may be addicted to repeating over and over in their life and recreating scenarios in which that shame keeps repeating. But they won't admit the positive things that they get out of the shame. So for instance, the positive things would be like, well, if I'm ashamed, then I hide in my life and I keep my head down and I don't invite attack from other people and I don't invite judgment from other people because I basically pre-shut down myself with my own self-attack and judgment. And so while I'm in shame and it feels bad to be in shame, it also feels good that I'm not being attacked by other people from being like too confident or too big or acting like I know what I want and what's right to too intense of a degree. And the funny thing is, when I work with clients on healing their emotional problems and emotional suffering, this is often a big key to unlock them to getting to their next level of how they work and how their nervous system is functioning and how happy they are, is getting them to admit what are they positively getting from their negative emotions that they can't seem to stop recreating. And once they do that, there's always this eureka moment of, oh my God, so now that I can finally admit that I'm getting something out of this suffering and negative emotion, now I can fully let go of the grip that it had on me, and I can move forward consciously to the next level and to the next better version of myself that doesn't have to recreate those suffering experiences anymore. So yeah, so there's 2 steps to today's video. It's acknowledge that the subconscious always tries to heal and grow spiritually and emotionally by recreating past traumatic situations and then hoping that you do something different this time so that you get redemption and you win this time, so you beat that level and get the next level. And also a good way to be able to beat that next level when you are conscious that that's what's happening in your life is to admit what you're getting out of being stuck at that level, out of being stuck in your shame or your anger or your fear or your anxiety. What are you getting out of it? And if you can think about those 2 things, it's really going to help you get to a higher version of yourself, a happier version of yourself, a more loving version of yourself, one that's more fulfilled, more connected to other people, like more grand, more golden, all of those good things that our higher self really wants for us and we would really like to have for ourselves when we get to that deathbed and we're thinking back on our life with regards to, was it a good life well spent or not? So much love. If you have any questions or thoughts on this, let me know. Put them down in the comments below. And much love, everybody. Jonny Wyld. Peace. Oh, and if you're interested in getting any of this healing work done, I'm currently in the market for a couple different clients who are looking to heal their emotional suffering and emotional patterns, fears and angers and anxieties and depression and stuff like that. So if you're ready to get some help with that and you want someone pretty knowledgeable who can hold your hand while guiding you to the next level and teaching you how to beat that level that you're stuck at, reach out. I'd love to help you. And much love, everybody. Jonny.